Hi, Tansker. I imagine some of you are sitting here waiting for this video to get on. I know that it is. Right now it's 8:25 on May the 1st, Friday morning, and it was supposed to be on by 8 o'clock. And I started on this thing yesterday, and I worked last night, and yeah, I actually didn't get as far as I wanted to. We're going to do, well, the instructions start on page 33, I think. It's 32 actually, 33, and then we're going to do 34 and 35 is what I'll give you the first part of the lesson, and then I'll come back on again here later and maybe give you the second part if I can get it. The second part is very similar to the first, except we're working with proportions, extremes, and means. And yeah, I had the board full, so I said, well, I'll start and I'll give you something to go by. So today's lesson, you're going to do from 3:16 to 3:30, and then maybe a few more, yeah. This is not a whole lot different, more than if you take notice, it says that if you have a fractional equation, an equation that has at least one variable in the denominator of the fractions. So the difference in what we have been doing in the other lessons to today is that you'll have a denominator or you'll have a variable in the bottom number. Otherwise, the variable is always in the numerator, the top one. So yeah, I will do a couple on the board for you. We'll skip the first one. I'll let you do that one. And I'm thinking that I'm going to give you another assignment. So if I give you this other assignment, I'll put part 1 on this video, and then the next one will be video part 2. I think we're going to skip a few problems here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, I'm going to give you 3 examples now, and then let me see, I'll give you the privilege to skip 15, and I'll do 3. So you do 10 problems. You do 10 problems. I don't care which 10. You choose your 10. So you'll be able to skip a few there. Now you have to skip the 3 that I do. Okay? You can't count those 3. But you follow along. You put those answers down. I need those answers in your book. The 3 that I do, you'll have to put those answers down, and then you'll do 10 more. And then I'll give you another section for today. That'll at least get you started for those of you that are waiting for me to get this video on. 3:17 is my first one. And here is the fractions, and y plus 1 and y plus 2 is my least common denominator. Okay? You're going to do the same procedure. Even though it's got a y in the bottom, you still do the same procedure. Find your least common denominator and multiply it times each one. Okay, here I did that, and I won't go over that. You know how I canceled out where I could and multiplied, and I came down to this point right here. This part here is all just past knowledge. But it can be a little confusing, or at least it was for me. Sometimes I didn't know exactly. So I have y plus 1 equals 2y negative 4. And the way I eliminated that one was, there's more than one way to do it, okay? There's more than one way to eliminate it. But this one here, I took the negative 4 and I brought him over here and I put him with this 1. I made him a positive 4. And now I got positive 1 and positive 4, which made me 5. Then I took this y here and brought him over here with the 2y and subtracted 1y from 2y, because he's a negative y when I brought him across the equal sign. That left me with just simple little y. So 5 equals y. So, turned around, I copied this same problem down here. And I put 5 in the y spot to see if it's worked. Here I had 1, 5 minus 2. And here I put 2, 5 plus 1. So here, let's just do this one. 5 plus 1 is 6, so I had 2 over 6. And I reduced it down to 1/3. Can you see there? And then over here, I subtracted 2 from 5, which left me 3. So 1 over 3. 1/3 equals 1/3. It works. Perfect. So my answer for y is 5. That's a nice simple start. Gives you a few other procedures to do. Let's move over to 320. Okay, don't go down here and copy the answer right now. Let's not start there. For 320, the least common denominator is y negative 1, which, if you factored this out, that's this answer right here. This answer here will factor out to that there factor, to those there. But to multiply them, it was easier to do it this way. So here we go. I did this one here, 5 over y1, and then I multiplied 5 times 1, and that left me with 5y squared. Now because of this negative sign right here, you see that negative sign? I circled that to give you a heads up what's happening. When you go writing it down here in your equation, you have to put the negative sign here. Oh no, wait a minute, I should do one more here, just hang on here. Let me do this one here, which if you multiply this one here times this here, you see what you come up with? You simply cancel out these two, and you have 4y squared plus 13. Okay, here I got the 4y squared plus 13. But I had to make both of these guys negative because I had a negative sign up here. So that flipped my signs on both of those answers. Now don't just do it for one. Automatically you put this negative here, but you have to remember that these two are connected. So they have to have, both of them have to be changed to a negative sign. I'll be honest, when I figured the problem the first time, I only changed this front one because I said it's negative, and I put a positive 13, and the problem didn't come out. So I checked it out. Now, let me see here if I flip on over. Yes, you can see that next one. Okay, here I'm doing on this side 4 plus y plus 4, and I divided it out. And then I didn't do all the work on that guy. He came out to y squared plus 3 negative 4. It was a trinomial, or I put them together into a trinomial. And that's my equal sign there. Yeah, this is on this side of the equal. If you look what I actually did, I had a y plus 4, and I canceled out these two y's here and here. And so then I had a y plus 4 and a y negative 1. And when you put those together, you had y and y, which made my y squared. A plus 1 and a negative made me 1 plus 4 made me negative 4 back here. And then I figured out the 1 and the 4 made me a positive 3. Why? You know how to do that, or I assume you do. So I'm just showing you why I got a trinomial here. That got rid of my parentheses. I need to get rid of my parentheses. To work the equation, you dare not have parentheses in the equation. You have to work the problem out. Now I'm ready to start solving my equation. And first thing I did here, I combined these two here. Right here I used, I did the 5. I combined within the equation. Right here the 5 and the 4 left me, if I subtracted 4 from 5, it left me with y squared. Okay, so I got rid of that. Now, I looked over here, and I said, oh, here I've got a y squared here, so I took this y squared, I negative, I subtracted, so I got rid of this. I got rid of this y squared and this y squared, and so now it leaves me on this side, the only thing I got left is negative 13. Now, I quickly looked over here and I said, oh, here I got negative, so I'll bring this positive 4 over here. So I added 4 to negative 13, that made me negative 9. All right? And then I had, the only thing I have left is 3y. So I bring my 3y down, and of course I divide 3 into 3, makes me y, 3 into negative 9 leaves me negative 3. Y equals negative 3. For the sake of time, for the situation, let's move on. I'm not going to check it. But negative 3 now should go into each one of these spots. And it will come out. I checked it. All right. 3.24. Here I did a little shortcut. I eliminated, you don't see the work, but my least common denominator is a negative 1, a plus 1. Okay, and I got that from right here. This here is my least common denominator, because here you got a plus 1, a negative 1, and that there's 2 of these here. So that is my least common denominator. I did the fraction multiplying each one times this here, and this is what I came up with the first answer. A negative 2 plus 1. I brushed you straight down to the equation, okay? I skipped this other sec, or I don't have it. I couldn't skip it, okay? I had to do it, but I did it and just copied down the equation. And this is what I came up with. Again, I had a squared plus 1, negative a plus 2. Now, wait a minute, did I do that right? Here I had a negative sign, so I made this one negative. Was I supposed to come up with a plus 2? Where did I get my plus 2? Maybe it was a negative 2 when I multiplied. Now I should have my work up here so I could see what I did. I was just looking at this here. I know I changed this sign, but I'm not sure. Maybe this was a negative and I changed it to a positive. That's probably what happened. And then on this side over here, I had a squared plus a. And as you can see, I canceled out right here. These two a's here on each side, they canceled each other out. I just whacked them out. A squared, done. So that brought me down to a right away. I had a eliminated in one little swipe. But I still had the negative 2a, positive 3. So I had to do something with that. You could have you can do this two ways. You could work this out to come to a negative answer or a positive answer. Well, what I did to make this simple, I took this 2a over here and put him with this a here, which made him a 3a. So now I have 3 equals 3a. So I did division of the 3, a equals 1. And again, if you put 1 in this spot here, 1 squared, 1, 1, and subtract them, you come up with the correct answer. Okay, you work on that one. I'm going to put this video as part 1, and then there will be a part 2 yet for today. It will be from, let me see here, which pages. It will go to the self-test. So it will be page 36 and 37 is where the work is done on. And I'll come back to there just in a moment, but this will get you started, and I will, again, let me remind you, you do 10 problems plus the 3 that I did on the board, and the others you can skip. See you.